What if I told you the same brands that used to market artisan, hand stitch, no machines are now sending your data to decide what they make next and influence your decision?
It's basically like that. So you train your own AI stylist to learn your style, and you can create any look from your closet. Here's some looks that...
Hi, I'm Maria, and today let's talk about AI and fashion. Brands are losing their edge. I'm not gonna lie. They're losing that edge. Luxury is at this point going full algorithm because guess what? The artisan look won't keep the lights on during inflation as people buy less. And if that sounds extra, good. H&M is doing the same thing. Different stages for all these companies. They are all revamping their stores, refining their inventory, and especially with what? With AI. Fast fashion rivals are coming for their profits. We know this. With all the algorithm and social media and like the rise of Shein and Temu, we've seen that it's not craftsmanship that wins, especially. It's how fast and how quick that AI is able to get you. We're going to spend the next few minutes talking about luxury, taking that AI detour and really what that means. So what's new with luxury, even H&M and AI right now? Luxury brands are tapping into AI to unlock growth, as indicated in this Wall Street Journal Deloitte article, which was saying that, high-end jewelers, beauty houses, prestige fashion houses, they're all using AI for forecasting, of course, right? Trend analysis, customer personalization, and recently in a bigger scope, virtual try-ons, at least way more detailed or way better adapted try-ons. And earlier in the year, I saw another article which was kind of leading up to this, where H&M was betting on AI to upgrade their stores, face off online rivals. This was back in June, and it showed that H&M was closing underperforming stores, upgrading experiential like stores and interactive stores, and leaning heavily into data for predicting which styles, sizes, colors will fly off the shelf. We've obviously known about this model because remember that's what Zara did. And Zara is like the biggest, or at least we'll say like the starting point of what we know as fast fashion today, right? Obviously all in an effort so their items don't rot in the clearance bin. Profit. And so catching us up to today, here's the fresh stuff. Recently, Ralph Lauren launched the Ask Ralph, a stylist assistant built in its app with Microsoft and OpenAI. It uses their own archives and products that in their product catalog to suggest full outfit. LVMH, the house that made luxury a global scoreboard, is building agent-based AI predictive tools. We keep seeing it, right? Generative AI internally to handle everything from their pricing to their supply chain, personalization to even marketing. So their internal AI platform processing millions of requests, internal conversations monthly. This was in the Wall Street Journal as well. What's really emerging are startups like maybe Ulta, which raised like millions of dollars. And they're obviously using AI to help customers plan outfits.
Another feature that I think is so awesome and that you guys will love is the ability to take a photo off the internet of someone, a friend or a celebrity you might follow, and place that image into the AI, and it will recreate that outfit for you based on what you currently have in your closet, or suggest things that you could buy, or suggest things in your closet that are similar to that outfit.
These are digital wardrobe stylists. We've seen them on TikTok, right? If you've seen them on TikTok, people styling themselves, ask AI to style me. These are the apps that we're talking about. It gives you that stronger personalization, and it's really been changing the landscape of style and fashion. And as someone in the fashion scape, I cannot be ignorant to the fact that people are using, obviously, AI to dress themselves, or are turning to AI because these are the things the indie tech companies see a market and they're going to fill it to hold entire groups of literally a niche in this AI space where everything is maybe from the invisible to the visible part of their business. They're using this. Now, a lot of their models, they're just integrating AI into it. Like we said, Zara did this a long time ago, right? They would literally, we've talked about this in my other video, where they would, based off supply and demand, would only produce more of those items at a quicker rate. That's why we have it as fast fashion today. But We're now seeing that AI integration. But obviously, why now? Shein, Temu have turned fast fashion into the Amazon Prime of clothing. Hyper fast, hyper cheap, hyper everywhere. Luxury brands and H&M and any other one of these stores can't keep raising their prices forever without people rebelling and noticing their credit card is crying at this point. So I would imagine, right? AI is their way of saying maybe we can be more efficient. They want to use all the new buzzwords in their investment calls to make money. So with inflation, we have weakening growth, all this global headwind, luxury demand, even in China, right? Even in China, which was huge, has now cooled down. So the US and Europe aren't exactly in boom mode. We've been talking about this for 2 years. Brands, no, people will not keep paying just because it's luxury, especially with social media, seeing what's really being the curtains. With better forecasting, the ideal goal is less waste, sharper inventory. Even LVMH said AI was central to navigating a slowdown. Of course, they're going to have to say that because, let's be real, LVMH went crazy with their price increases, went crazy recently with all of their brands and all of their acquisitions, even with Poland, but I digress. Brands like Shein, Temu, and other direct-to-customer, like online brands, all those shopping sites we love. Third, they build their business model around data, always coded in. Since they've been snapping up trends, supply chain speed, and volume. That's the point of fast fashion. All of them want agility. Now, the goal is agility without the cheapness, or maybe some of them are embracing the cheapness because let's be honest, at this point, I don't know if sustainability standards are being kept and who's checking on it. And Gen Z and consumers and people, that grew up with the recommend me a song, recommend me a video, tell me what to buy, the algorithm choosing everything for us. At this point, we've come to trust the algorithm. Your Spotify, playlist will recommend something good. But we want authenticity, ethical business practices, sustainability. And if you say that you're luxury and you're doing all this stuff, we want you to back it up. So with AI and everything, which is huge when it comes to not being sustainable in any aspect. So yeah, for sure. But Gen Z can spell it a mile away. They'll tweet about it, put it on TikTok. You will hear about the brand not being sustainable if they're lying about their sustainability practice at one point or the other. Okay. As we should. We should know these things. You can't just lie and get away with it. Overproduction, overstocks, returns equals huge environmental burden. AI demands more environmental burden. Maybe with forecasting, we get fewer returns, maybe fewer markdowns, maybe better sizing across the board because the sizes are all over the place and it's insane, and better fit, so hopefully less returns. And that may help with the transparency of environmental impacts, which we have to think about. That's something Gen Z and millennials are hyped about because regulation is needed. Who's regulated? It's like the Wild West. It could be great, but we need eyes on it because it just takes one bad apple. The bad apples, guys, the bad apples. But with regulation creeping in, the EU mentioned some AI acts and privacy laws. We need to make sure those are embedded into the ethics of companies early. That's one thing I would say. If these companies want to survive in the future, that would be my tip. But I know a lot of these companies love to ask for forgiveness later. Let's be honest. I hope we get those regulations quickly. Luxury has always sold story, heritage, craftsmanship, the romance, the show, the artistry, right? But what happens when some stories are written by algorithms? Do you still pay full price if it's fully done with an AI system that did it in 10 seconds? Not someone sewing by hand. Why does it cost $8,000? Like when it's from the same app that recommended my Netflix show. Let's break down specific AI tools and what luxury and others are doing right now. Right? AI is not just one thing. It's a whole toolbox. You have the agent AIs, which are like the chatbots. Like when I was working with, or like trying to research stuff with Mango, I was talking to the AI at first before it like put me to an agent to talk with, which I'm still not sure it's an agent, but whatever. Those are goal-oriented and they run tasks. LVMH has been using this. I said Mango's using this. A lot of companies have been using this. Maybe not super long, but for at least 3 or 4 years. Marketing teams use agent AIs to run appointments. You can be proactive with this agent AI and you can order things and do things. That is one thing they do, right? So brands want their ads, lookbooks, campaign visuals faster, cheaper, and viral. Like they want to be seen everywhere. But that comes with the risk of looking generic, or being criticized for using AI in the place of real artisans. Is it not real? That is very real. So Coperni, Gucci, Valentino experimented with AI imagery, augmented generative visual. You have invisible intelligence, the back-end stuff, optimizing supply chains, pricing, reducing waste, matching inventory. We know about that, right? So that they can meet their demand, because profit. And then not flashy, but maybe high leverage. Now, LVMH's Maya platform is doing a lot of this, both the agent AI, the customer-facing aspects, but also the invisible, which is like the employee internal operations. There's styling and personalization tools like Ask Ralph, which works with Ulta. These tools are supposed to feel personal, almost like having your own assistant or your own stylist in your pocket. But the catch, I feel, fit, taste, personal taste, cost, sensitivity to you, obviously limitations on the uploads you can do, because unless you're paying for it. And these tools often, they fall short. You can ask Ralph, and it still doesn't let you upload a photo, or it doesn't really get into your fit or details. Again, that's the same thing people run into when they do it with like OpenAI and put in an image and tell them to style them. It's the most generic, basic thing ever. I guess I can see that, but it's not really good. I know this from experience because I've tried it myself. Companies are doing the invisible part with faster campaigns, content template, regional or micro trends, visuals, and store setup and presentation. Brands use these tools to keep up with social media cycle. Obviously, I just talked about Mango, you have H&M. They're all using these AI toolkits to update their ads, their content, their background, to target social media trends quickly. Brands are using AI with chat tools to let customers ask about heritage, craftsmanship, or even the environmental footprint. Is it being honest? We don't know. Sometimes the AIs are glitchy. Okay. And obviously things like ethics. Bruno Brunelli using ChatGPT features on their website so customers can ask about its philosophy. So there are many, many moving parts. Winners will likely be people who have a mix of a strong brand identity, avoiding alienating people who are like put off, and show authenticity. So all the shiny promises, but behind them are landmines. And people, millennial, in general, Gen Z, it's basically stand in the perimeter ready to watch the fireworks at this point, because authenticity and human touch is unmatched. And that erosion has been very dystopic. When Vogue publishes spreads with AI model, I remember that, people were losing it. The hyper-perfect features, the flawless bodies. It's not like a blonde white woman, wasn't it? Right? So some readers are going to cancel their subscription because it feels like a fake. This is not a place where I went to when I was younger to see interesting pieces written by women writers. And luxury is part of telling stories. Vogue had good pieces. Vogue Insta articles written by writers, like women writers who are established in their field. That's what it was. It wasn't just pictures. It was about story, soul, and just like plight of womanhood. There were still more features about a certain type of womanhood nonetheless. So what's left now? How are we going to differentiate with the over-homogenization of all of the same trend analytics and same style templates and the AI tools? And how are we going to tell? Because at this point, they're all going to merge into the same. And then you have Gucci's novel design, which predicts similarly, kind of looks like Prada's design, which is kind of similar. Brands are losing their edge. I'm not gonna lie. They're losing that edge. When it comes to privacy and data, collecting massive amounts of customer data, huge red flag. From browsing purchases to location to style preference, who has that access? And how secure is it? Are these brands really transparent? Here for profit. Gen Z is more likely to call out those misuses, the tone deafness. We've seen it on social. The regional mismatch, the AI-trained nonsense, they will call it out. AI-trained on global data sets can miss local nuances. Because what's trendy may be in Seoul, might flop in Lagos, okay? What's culturally sensitive somewhere might be slightly offensive somewhere else. Maybe mismatched shoe sizing somewhere or weird color suggestions. I told you this, these are things that happen when you plop your photos in. Shoes that look different in person than the AI image. It's just not giving what it needs to give. The whole point would be to use those tech tools, but keep the human. Comparing second opinion and trusting your gut That's the only way you're going to get through this whole AI integration phase and companies at this point, with companies at this point. Here's my question. Will AI actually save fashion, or will it just strip away the soul of it? Because luxury without mystique is just another expensive polyester, right? And if AI starts designing the wrong way, will we even notice? I feel like we will, but maybe will we? It's getting really good. Or will we just end up all looking like Shein, but in silk? I think some brands, will adapt beautifully. Others will obviously wipe out. The real test is, can they keep luxury feeling luxurious while being efficient, sustainable, and growing digitally? Can they lean into their identity, their character, or will everything feel like algorithmic wallpaper? Here's what I want you to think of. Would you let an AI pick your look for a date? Are you actually doing that already? Or would you trust your own taste more? Do you think AI in fashion hurts authenticity, or can it really amplify what's already unique about this brand? If you like this, drop a comment, authenticity or algorithm, and share with someone who would be mad if their luxury brand decided to be all AI.